tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earned for a goal of innovation. Just passing the team over here might finish out bright future we can't vanish. It's E25 any day, that's stellars. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions. Fankers bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when Eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another live episode of Transfer Weekly. And, you know, we're going to jump straight into this one. Today, I am joined here with Rich. How's it going?
Yeah, it just looks like we're just hearing about so many outgoings and not many incomings, so yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, same really. I mean, obviously still very happy about Sunday. But it's been a bit disappointing on the transfer front. Obviously we'll talk about it more, but hearing some of it, especially the outgoings, that could be happening. But yeah, other than that, okay. You?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just sort of going through all the stages of grief because, you know, you thought, okay, we might be able to live with Mark, but the price tag's a bit low. But all the Ebbs news as well is, you know, it's a bit much for one day. But, you know, Rich, you already touched on it. Do you want to give everyone an update on what's actually happening with Mark and Ebbs?
So, as of earlier on today, we even started it off. I can't remember, but there was just news filtering that there was a agreement between Mark Guehi and Liverpool, and rumours were initially that there was a fee of 30 to 35 million pounds put as a bid for him. It has now turned out that Liverpool haven't spoken to Palace yet. They did say that they will make sure they speak to us as well, out of respect. And obviously, Parish is pushing for 40 million as opposed to the 35. So that's where we stand, but it looks like that's going to be done like soon. Regarding Ebbs, obviously we know some of the Arsenal have been very, very interested. However, Tottenham, obviously they've unfortunately lost Maddison to a long-term injury, and they've also gone to the MLS. It looks like they're now very interested in this and getting this done. Remember, the release clause, I believe, finishes on Friday. So it'll be very interesting to see whether an actual bid comes in before then or what actually happens after that.
I'm sure that there was a lot of reports saying that the release clause actually finished 2 weeks ago Friday. So how what's real? Is it this Friday or is it 2 weeks ago Friday?
Reported that it was 2 weeks before the season started, which has never ever been the case. I think even last year, Ebbs' one was 2 weeks before the window closed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that would make it Friday the 15th.
Okay. And then with Mark, are we thinking that was the last game he's ever played with Crystal Palace, winning us another trophy?
I personally think so.
Yeah.
As I said behind the scenes, I would have at least liked him to have played the Chelsea game. And that's a tough game. And then if he went and we didn't have him for Forest, I think we can navigate the Forest game a lot better than we can navigate the Chelsea game. But yeah. And then it's just a time frame of trying to get someone in. All I'm hoping is that Bissek agreed terms already or something. I'm not going to go into too much depth because I'm talking about it. And literally when Mark's got the here we go, the next minute it's here we go for Bissek sort of thing. That's what
this is the reason why I blocked that guy, because here we go don't mean nothing.
Actually, it doesn't. Yeah.
To be honest, I've also got him blocked as well.
Because him spouting the amount of nonsense he has done about us, I don't believe nothing unless it's Ornstein or it's Bobby or someone breaking this news. So if he's saying here we go, I don't know. Mark Gay might be here we go for like a large dollar and chips. So I really don't know.
Also, sorry, one last bit of update. Cam just mentioned in the chat. Rudy Galletti, I believe his name is. who tends to like follow Newcastle. Apparently, they're going to be looking at Mateta.
Okay.
So that
Well,
was-
they're welcome to look at him. I look at him quite
I
often.
look at his bald head a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's not surprising, but then yeah, we'll see, I suppose, won't we?
I mean, with Mateta, I mean, if you're, I don't know if I'm over gassing him, but if you look at behind Haaland and Isak, is he the next best striker in the league?
Sorry, say the names again. Who and Isak?
So Isak and Haaland obviously ahead of him, but is he next? Is he better than the likes of Watkins and Cunha?
As an out-and-out striker, certainly. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't even class Cunha as a striker, to be honest. I class him more as like a forward. But I think, yeah, I think so. I'm actually really surprised that obviously United and Arsenal have both gone in for big bids in strikers, Šeško and Gyökeres. I'm really surprised they didn't go in for Mateta, to be honest, because it would have cost less, got more Premier League experience.
And that's
I'm actually
a benefit as well.
I'm actually really surprised that more people haven't. I'm surprised there's not been more interest around Mateta this summer, to be honest.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
There's still a few more weeks.
Yeah, still 3 more
I
weeks.
think that's the scary bit. Like, it feels as if this might be a domino effect.
I can't remember who predicted it, but some big account on Twitter did. Oh no, it was James Lawrence Alcott. I was watching the other day, predicted that there'll be lots of transfer moves on, because they say like it's a domino effect, because like I know it sounds quite insignificant on the grand scheme of things, but like, you know, us knowing where we're at means that Spurs can move for, say, Eze, and then that means that someone else will go somewhere else. That'll mean this, that'll mean that. Do you know what I mean? They're all of these things are very much interlinked.
And also,
yeah.
Also going back to Guehi here, I forgot to mention that Ed Aarons tweeted that Glasner doesn't want Mark to go. He'd rather him leave on a free. Which I don't know if he's doing that for like sensationalism, but that's going to be another Glasner versus Parish fight. Because yes, to be fair, I do believe that Glasner would want Mark to stay. But Parish,
you can't say no to 35 million, even if it's half of what he's actually worth. You can't say no to 35 million or zero. You just can't say no to it.
So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a clash as well between Glasner and Parish, which is
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say so, and I think this might be an unpopular opinion amongst most people, but personally, I think Guehi and Eze. Well, I know, like it obviously depends on like the interest, but I think them going isn't necessarily the bad thing. It's just, for me, it's the timing of it that I think isn't particularly good. If this had happened, say 3 weeks ago,
no one.
I would have been very happy. I would actually been happy with it, to be honest, because the thing is, yes, we don't want to sell players, and I also don't think you should sell too many players at once either. I think 1-2 big players a season max should go, because otherwise then you're rinsing and repeating too much. But then, yeah, I think we got to buy low, develop, sell high model, and it's like we're just not doing the selling high bit.
Mm-hmm. And with obviously, as you said, now we know where we stand, we can actually start making moves. Do you think that we'll continue to pursue this late decision to say that, look, because of how late the decision is, you've hindered our upcoming season, because you've left us in the dark for so long? Do you think that's something that we should pursue? Or do you think otherwise and think, you know what, no matter what happened, we should have been proactive in making business anyway? I'll get that to Dan.
I mean, I feel like that. I mean, obviously, I don't know. So I am
just purely, as a hypothetical.
I mean, I think there probably are deals that you can do that wouldn't have mattered where we are. Like if you're adamant, for example, that you were going to sell Eze this summer. I mean, I know maybe people have been lowballing us a little bit. You know, could we have just said, okay, let's just sell him regardless of what thing we're in? Could we then? I'm sure there must have been players out there that it wouldn't have mattered whether we're in the Conference League or the Europa League. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these targets that we would have been gunning for originally, these would have all been players that would probably be somewhat okay with not playing for a team even in Europe. Because you think because all of these transfers from the beginning to the start, like all of these players would have been scouted like ages ago. They would have had data on all these players, and then they would have narrowed it down, like when they watch them and stuff like this, blah blah blah, and they narrowed it down even more to the players that are interested. So if these deals, which do take months to happen, these deals would be with players who potentially are probably okay with no Europe. And I think if you know that you're going to be in Europe, regardless of whether it's a Conference League or the Europa League, I think you do have to kind of go for it. I mean, that said, apparently money is a big issue, so perhaps perhaps that is the time factor. But then, like I said, maybe you should just make a decision to sell Guehi or Ebb straight away rather than just longing it out and seeing what happens.
Mm-hmm. I think the only one that would mind what kind of European competition we would play in is probably Diamonde, but I reckon that ship's long gone and sailed by now.
I think Sporting are a very difficult team to deal with. They know that they can long it out, so they will.
Mm-hmm. We have got a few players that we have been linked with, but other teams seem to be pushing the big red button first. So to name a few, McAtee and El Canoes, Rich, what's happening on that side?
I mean, the McAtee one was such a bummer because it was literally like, when did it actually break? Yeah, the moment that Forest got confirmation of they're staying in the Europa League, literally within an hour. So this is what I'm talking about, being proactive. Let's just say that we had a Europa League list of players and a Conference League list of players. After Monday, we should have been like, all right, cool, boom, here we go. But obviously, we don't have money, it seems like, which is so annoying, you know. So he's one. El Canoes, I know there was rumours with Leeds. I think Newcastle are looking at it now as well. So there are other teams looking at it. I think his release clause is 26 million, I believe, or in and around that. Who else is on that list? Oh, Malik Fior, or Tior, he's gone to Newcastle, I believe, as well. So that's a centre back out of the market. Yeah, it's looking a bit mad. Like all the potential targets are going. Yeah, McAtee would have been brilliant, but and I think they got him 26 with, and then add-ons.
I've got no idea. You're the one that told me about these.
It's just making me think, how do we not have that? Just even that aspect of it. Like, how do we not have 26 mil?
I mean, I want to know what happened in the case of Woody Johnson, because I know he's come in, and I know for a fact that he wouldn't have bought in the club unless he would have been able to spend some money. Where's that money? I mean, that's the main one, and surely we must have had some deals tied up. Like if we were just waiting for that decision, as you said, why do we not just have some deals tied up to say we just hit the button the second that we know? Like you said, a pot of Europa League players and a pot of Conference League players. We should have just been proactive and done something about it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get some news on someone like Bissek. Just give us something to say, look, we're actually actively pursuing. Whether he decides to reject us because of the competition we're at,
that's fine.
We'll see. But all we're hearing about is outgoings.
And it's so late in the day that the season starts next week, and we're going to do exactly what we did last time to Glasgow. We're going to long it out for so long that he's going to have no pre-season again, because seeing how the team's playing with a little bit of pre-season under Glasgow, yes, it's nice that we've largely kept the team together, which is good. But to have new players in that pre-season as well, that would have been extremely beneficial, especially seeing how we played against Liverpool on the weekend. Before we go on to some players that we've sort of picked out of a hat and said, you know what, these players look all right. We've got some other rumours. I know we were linked with Musa a few years ago. I think he's currently at Milan, AC Milan. Yeah. American sort of box-to-box midfielder that can play that defensive role, Dan, do you think he'd be a good fit? Because the rumor is, once again, Nottingham Forest are in for him for about 30 million quid. Is that a good deal, or is that? And do you think he's someone that we should maybe look at, or do you think we've got it covered in midfield?
For 30 million, no.
Or would Diouf be better for the price
I
that you
mean,
hit him for?
to be honest, I've only really saw Musa when he was at the World Cup, so I haven't looked too much into him. But I mean, I thought Hackney and or Andy Diouf were good ideas. Diouf, I think sorry, my thing's gone funny. I think Diouf and Hackney offer different things. I think I talked about in one of the Transfer Weeklies. So, guys, I did a detailed one in there. I can't remember which one it was. But they offer different things. Like Diouf is unbelievably good on the ball in terms of his dribbling. And then Hackney, you've got someone who's also maybe slightly better defensively, but is a good passer of the ball as well. And considering they're available for a similar-ish less amount of money, I mean, I would probably go for them. And also, I am a little bit biased because I did start to do a thread on Musa like 2 years ago, I think it was, when we were interested. And he wasn't particularly popular with the Valencia fans, so that kind of turned me off him a little bit. But yeah, I haven't looked at him since, so maybe he's a lot better because he is only 22, to be fair to him.
Mm-hmm. And Rich, a player called Zorti as well.
Yeah, big up to Colin. He sent me these links. So obviously this is news I've not heard about. But apparently it's a right back as well. And I think we're in competition with Fiorentina, which is a bit odd because I believe David Calabria, we were fighting for him with Fiorentina as well. So and that was a free transfer. So I don't know. That's gone quiet. I don't know if that's something that's still going to happen. I don't know if Fiorentina's walked away from that. But yeah, these are just the odd rumours that are flowing around. Nothing concrete.
Cool. Dan, do you want to take us through some comments before we go to some players that we've picked out ourselves?
Right. So, dog, big up the dog. Yeah, he looks like he's going for 35 mil. Just don't sell Ebbs. Yeah, about that. It's probably we want 40 million. Ornstein is saying enough is happening. Worth pointing out, guys, as well, there will be, I'm pretty sure there is a sell-on clause. If there is a sell-on clause, it's always on the profit. It's never on the full amount. So how much we buy him for? Like 20 mil or something?
Yeah.
So if we sold him for 40, it's only the percentage of the profits, so the 20 mil.
Yeah, so Chelsea will only get 4 mil.
Yeah, exactly. So a big up, Macca Packer. Thank you for joining in. That's the Night Garden, I think, isn't it? 35 mil. Well, yeah, this is the thing. And I think this is where maybe our business can be a bit better. We need to kind of sell these players because he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So that's exactly why he's going for so low. So hopefully we can learn from this in the future and maybe try and be a bit more proactive with our selling. Big up Chairman. Big up Monty. Callum, I totally agree. I don't know if I can put that on here. Well, sort it. Yeah, I agree. Dog thought you had blonde highlights for a second, Rich.
To be fair, they'll be and like give it a couple months. Like my nutrition said, I'll be able to guide the tips. Some have said go for red and blue. I thought that wouldn't look
red and blue.
wouldn't look good.
Sky is saying apparently his release clause ends on Friday. So it seems like no one really seems to know actually. Manager going to go. Can't blame it.
Loss, you know.
Do you know what? Honestly, I can't remember. I said this to you the other day, but my biggest fear is seeing Glasner leave because I think he's such a good manager, and that's my biggest fear. Like, I've seen us have bad windows all the time, and I've seen us be crap loads of seasons. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me, it's seeing Glasner leave that I worry about. Big up Older Bear. Cannot attend due to being at Sutton. Oh, Sutton United playing tonight, are they? Can we have some positive news? Absolutely. The dog is following his crush and he's watching him play for Blackpool. I'm not too sure if Blackpool are one of those teams where you can watch their full 90 replays for free in the Championship. They might be. I can't remember. Let's see. So, yeah, I think this will be the temporary solution. Lerma left back Sunday. Assuming that he doesn't play. What else have we got?
It's right that needs a short in midfield now because Kamada came off injured. Don't know the extent of that one.
We haven't heard back on that, have we? And obviously Decore's still not back yet. So 3-star Reds, big up yourself. Is that a Romano? Here we go. They've never had any substance. Yep, I totally agree. That's why I muted him because he was irritating. Big up Spiritual. Thanks for all the comments, guys. There's a lot of them, so I will just have a flick through. Apparently Chelsea might be stepping in for Guehi as well.
I'd rather sell him to them because then there's no need for a sell-on clause.
I think that then they'd be like, well, can we have a cheaper price? I think that's what they would do. Let's Palace, we're going live at 8. Any ideas who could replace Eze? Well, we're going to talk about that later if you stay tuned. And this was another interesting one. Vandenberg from Middlesbrough went to Cologne for £11 million. There is obviously a name that was related to us.
He was the truth, Good
I never got around to watch him, or I kind of hope I did, but I didn't get around.
Very good player, and it's probably a good thing you didn't watch him because you'd be upset.
Apparently, McAtee wasn't direct enough for Glasner. I can see that, to be fair.
Big up, Patrick.
Big up, Patrick. I want to put that comment up there. Jack Grealish off to Everton, but it kind of looks a bit bad when you put it on.
I know, I read it earlier.
But I do think
Jack Grealish is off to Everton, but it just says his first name.
But I do actually think that is a good signing. I think he's got good experience. It depends on how much they're paying for his wages, but I think if he's in a team that kind of gives him a bit of freedom, I think he very much got Pep Guardiola at City.
Listen, I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing no one cussing down saying that's a good signing. Yeah, because I got pelters in the last live.
What, for who?
For Grealish? Yeah, for suggesting Jack Grealish to come to Palace. There was a no.
Really?
The comments.
I was getting Dan. Listen, I was getting cooked differently, and no one's even said a single word about you yet.
I think you know what?
Racism.
Big up Martin. We definitely need players, probably 3 or 4. We'll go through that probably a bit later if we got time. Apparently, Forest are going in 25 million for Musa, but they want more. Big up the Villa fan. I saw one of your other comments that I wanted to put up there as well. Can't remember where it was, but I'm sure you said about us missing out on Guessand. I agree. Guessand was a player who, and I'm pretty sure Calcio Cole put on there saying that was one that should have been done.
That one annoyed me.
So that's an interesting one. Big up Gurav. Yes, Callum. Apparently we are broke, but I'm not really too sure. Apparently Nevea is saying Paris should leave if Glasner does. To be honest, I think that would be another problem. Obviously, he's such a good manager that he will probably end up somewhere good. Right. Thanks again for all the comments. There was a lot of them. We'll do some more later.
So, because there wasn't many rumors in a good way,
that was like a couple of weeks.
I don't. What did you say, JC?
A rumor. What is a rumor?
I don't know.
So, because of the lack of them, we've had to go back to the trenches where we've had to go and pick players because the club won't do it themselves. So, we've all gone for one. I've found one where I thought, you know what? It's not exactly what we need, but I feel like it would work. And it is a striker with the name of... And please bear in mind, this is a mad name, so I'm probably going to butcher it. I went on Google Translate and I pressed the little speaker button a few times, but, please forgive me. A striker called Arnaut Kadimwendo. I think I did all right. Basically, 23-year-old striker, French, who currently plays for Rennes, they don't have Europe this season. So that's one thing that we can offer that they can't offer him already. One thing I would say is that this guy is bow-footed. He's not bow-footed in the sense of Ryan Cherky, but he's bow-footed in the sense of he's very good with both feet. Where I think he actually, even though he takes penalties with his right foot, he's still scored some absolute screamers with his left foot as well. Quite an interesting player, really, and I think he does fit the profile that Glasner likes. He's extremely direct. He's very fast, skillful. He's really good at dribbling as well. So for a striker, that's something that we can add to our team. And because he's bow-footed, we can go both ways when shooting. He can cut to one side, cut to the other side, and shoot with both feet. Ability to run in behind because he's fast, but he does like to drop deep, pick up the ball, turn and run, and also good eye for passing, looking in behind. Can find some space. Yes, this Donny. Can someone try and pronounce that better than I did it?
Arna Kalimuendo.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
He can pull out wide, and he has done both. No.
Continue. Sorry.
No, I saw his lip doing in them ones, and I was thinking, no. We can't have another greedy situation going on here. But yeah, he's able to find space out wide on both sides, the left and the right. And he's able to pick up the ball and drive inside. And by going out wide, he's able to occupy the same area as the right winger or the left winger to create an overload there. And then as he darts in towards the goal or into the center of the pitch, he will drag the fullback or someone away from the winger so the winger gets more space, and then you can start to create some link-up play. The link-up play, incredible with him. He's very good at being direct, and his shot conversion is outstanding. 18 goals and 4 assists in 34 total games last season, and he had an XG of 15. He outscored his XG quite nicely by 3 whole goals. Very nice player. But because he is able to go out wide, he has had many games where, yes, he's a striker, but he has played left wing, right wing, and he has actually played attacking midfield quite a lot in his youth as well. And what's quite interesting about that is when he did play out wide, right, left wing, right wing, it was very like an inside forward instead of a winger, which suits our playing style. He would fit that right attacking mid or that left attacking mid very well. So in theory, this player right here could play striker, left attacking mid, or right attacking mid, depending. So he's probably the perfect depth option, or the perfect option if someone like Eddie Nketiah is injured, which he is. Like I said, he's 23, so he's younger than Nketiah. You could probably get him for about the same price as we bought Nketiah for. But I really like what I see with this guy. He's on Transfermarkt, they think he's worth about £22 million. But I think with his age, the fact that his contract runs out in 2027, I reckon he'll probably be on the market for about 35 to 40 million pounds, which is probably outside of our budget at the moment. But I think he's an outstanding talent that, I think if you've got the money and we need to strengthen in all areas and you only want to buy one player, I don't think you can look any further than this guy right here.
I don't even think we got the money at the moment for a meal deal, to be honest. So,
he played in the Olympics with Mateta. Well, so.
And Elise.
And also one thing, so I know you alluded to his outscoring of his XG. He's actually done that fairly consistently over the years as well. So, an objectively good finisher.
Yeah. There was a little bit of bad news with that player, though, wasn't it, JC?
What, I can't pronounce his name.
No, I said there was a team. Was it Brentford?
Yeah, Brentford.
Oh, yeah.
So I said this in the chat. I said, look, I found this guy. I think he's quite good. And then Rich says, look at this. And then Brentford are trying to sign him. I'm thinking, oh my days. You're telling me I went through looking through all the top 5 leagues, and this guy. But I think I did find that out of every top, I think in the top 5 leagues, out of every single under 23 player, I think he ranks 6th out of all players for progressive actions. So actions that go towards the goal. So progressive passes, progressive dribbles, shots, assists. He ranks very highly there. And bearing in mind, he's played 34 games and he only had 28 starts. I think that return is really, really good.
Nice.
It is. It is. I mean, I guess, look.
Only issue is he's linked with Tottenham, AC Milan, teams like that.
And I think with the Brentford one, I think it's because, is it Otara who might not be going there at all now?
I don't know.
And there's some issues with it or something and stuff. So, yeah.
Anyway, what do we think about that shout? Yes, no, or just completely out of our budget?
Yeah, I think it's out of budget. Unless, obviously, we sell Ebbs.
Yeah.
But is he the ideal replacement if we sell Ebbs? I probably don't think so again.
No.
Personally.
No, it's not.
You know I love my boy El Canoes.
Yeah, but we're taking long with that one.
Your Moroccan brother.
My Moroccan brother.
I mean, Caleb said in the chat about Nusa. Like we've covered Nusa before. That's why we haven't mentioned. But he'll be a great. But I think he'll be out of price as well. I think.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we've got Rich with someone we should have bought a few years ago.
Absolutely. Jonathan Rowe, 22 years old, England international, who predominantly plays as a left wing forward, but can drift into central forward positions too. Now, when he was playing in the Championship, I think we were, for 2 seasons, or 1 or 2 seasons, we were looking at him. Just quickly, because you came up with a hear me out, yeah. Jadon Sancho was going to be my hear me out. But his wages are terrible.
So Grealish is.
Yeah.
Alright,
I was thinking that Sancho.
Alright, so for the chat, let's just say as a hypothetical, Grealish or Sancho as a hear me out?
Or Raheem Sterling.
Or Raheem Sterling. Yeah, carry on with Rowe, and then we'll see what the chat says.
Left winger, and he had an outstanding season for Norwich in the Championship. Bear in mind, remember Norwich before, obviously, he got drafted into the first team, were a bit of a yo-yo club, and then they became a very bog-standard mid-table Championship club. Still got himself 12 goals, 2 assists, and was able to get himself a loan to Marseille, which then turned into a permanent deal. The thing is, though, he's not had the best of times at Marseille, and I'm going to reel off his minutes. Bear with me, season. To be fair, he has recovered his form in the recent Under-21 Championship. To be fair. Right. So, last season alone, 28 games played. However, only 6 starts. Now, minutes per game. Have a guess.
Oh, I know, because I know how many minutes he's played in total.
Let's say the question again. I wasn't listening.
How many minutes per game do you think he's had? Very man, he's played 20.
If he's only had 6 starts, I reckon the average is like 26 minutes or something like that.
29 minutes per game.
Oof.
Which shows he is out of favour. That he's just not used. So the total minutes all last season, 817 minutes.
Oh, that's a shout from Spiritual. I've been saying this guy for a few years now. Ever since he cooked Klein and Ward at Burnley, Rich knows I've been talking about this guy for a while as well.
He's a good player. However, with all that, he's made 2 team of the weeks. That is pretty impressive if you're only playing half an hour of football each game.
Mm-hmm.
He's also had 3 goals and 3 assists in that. So it doesn't. The fact that he hasn't played much, he's definitely effective when he comes on. He definitely makes an impact. However, then you look at when he played for the under-21s in the European Championship recently, 6 games, started 3, averaged 43 minutes per game, 2 goals. And one of them was a very important goal in one of the knockout stages as well. So for me, let me see if I can find where I have. I think I've got an opening up. There it is. Here's his heat map. He's predominantly a left winger. But with this, what I would say he's good at is he's a very good dribbler. And when he dribbles with intent to get a shot off. Like, he will receive the ball with his back to goal inside the penalty area, and he'll still try to beat a man to get a shot off. So he's very direct in that sense. Even when it gets to him outside the box, if he's got a chance to shift it on his right foot and curl it, he will try to do that. So I guess the direct nature of him is really good. I think with that in mind as well, though, something that the bit that does let him down is that maybe he tries to dribble too much and sometimes gets caught in possession sometimes. But he is very strong on the ball. His hold-up play is pretty decent, considering he's only like, what? He is 5'8".
He's 5'8".
5'8", yeah.
Wow. Let's hope for us yet, JC.
No, not really. We're 5'6".
Whoa. Speak for yourself.
Oh, come on. You're like this much taller than me. Come on now. And that's with your hat on.
But, yeah, but look, you can tell he's definitely out of favour at Marseille. I saw a clip.
How much do you think he'll be worth?
So, Transfermarkt have got him down as 12 million euros, which is about, what, £9 million? 9, 10 million. I don't think that's a bad... I think that's even one of those shots. You know, we've been talking about the El Canoes.
Oh.
That's outrageous. You know, we were talking about like El Canoes and just we need 2 players. That would be like get a Jonathan Rowe and an El Canoes sort of thing. I'll put that in that category. No matter what, if we lose Ebbs, we need 2. We can't rely on Eze. I don't know yet if Eze is going to be trusted. So it leaves Edouard and Jez.
I mean, in a weird way, if you do that and get 2 guys for the left, you can put Eze where he wants to be on the right.
Yeah. So El Canoes and Jonathan Rowe can fight out. And that will cost us, what, £35 million for the 2 of them? I think then you've hit your, like, let's just say Ebbs goes for, we'll get it up front about 35, innit? We'll get for him up front.
I mean, let's say you get your 68 for Ebbs and then you get your 35 for Mark. You got 105 mil there. If you get those 2, and obviously the money that comes in is not going to go straight back out again. We're going to retain some money for January or whatever. But let's say in that case, let's say you get both of those guys for 35, the El Canoes and the Rowe, and then you've got nearly what? So you got extra £70 million to spend on a centre back and some upgrades. So, you know, in a weird way, if you get your business done quickly, if you sell both of them, you could upgrade the team overall. But I don't think you're going to get the same first team quality. You'll get a better squad, but you won't have the same first team quality. That's probably the only thing that probably is weighing on Glasgow.
He's the one that I would say could get around that. Because technically, we lost the quality of Elise and brought in the effectiveness of Ismail Assar, who's had a phenomenal season, you know. So if there's anyone that's going to get around it, it'll be Glasgow.
I think actually bringing up Sarr, I think is a good point because, yes, John Rowe's not had a great season at Marseille, but neither did Sarr.
From Marseille.
Yeah, Sarr needs to do a job.
So, because I mean,
I'm sure they played Sarr at right wing back for a little while over there, didn't they?
I think he did play a little bit there, yeah. But he only started 15 times in the league that season, so that's just over half, really. And
you know what Mills is a shot, you know. Sorry, but Sosa less centre back. I mean, I still think he needs to buy someone, but I wouldn't be surprised because Glasgow wants a left-footed player, really. Obviously, I know Mark's done a great job.
I mean, I saw. I think was it you that was telling me that you wanted to see Mitchell play left centre back? Hell no.
Me.
Someone was telling me they want to see Mitchell at left centre back.
To be honest, that was quite a popular shout on Twitter for a while. But yeah, I mean, I think John Rowe's class. Like, if anyone's on the Twitter, There's a thread. There's a thread on Eagle Eye Ball. There's another one.
There actually is one.
And
Well, you know what? Since you've brought it up, and I
Yeah.
don't know if you've watched much of him since you made that thread, but has there any
No.
aspect of this game that's changed?
I haven't watched him at all since. So all of my thing is based on when he was at Norwich.
Could you do an updated one then?
I can certainly look into it.
Is
we'll see
there
what the
much
rumours
point
say.
in doing that if
We'll do it if the. To be honest, I'm
if
just
a
doing
link
it on-
happens?
Yeah, if a link
essentially.
happens, then I'll do it.
It'd be
I'm
interesting.
only
to see
really doing
what he's
players with
developed.
links.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he's developed attributes from Marseille.
Yeah.
So
No, for sure.
Yeah, 'cause if there's no link, then Dan's just going to do work for him to sign a new contract or something again.
Literally, I started watching Evan Gessan the other day, and that happened. So
stop mentioning his name.
So I'm sorry, guys, but that's why I don't do that anymore.
That one has really ticked me off.
Caleb, I remember how I was chatting about this guy for so long, and then he went to Ipswich.
Yeah. To be fair, I could see him fitting in the system. I think he would have fitted our system better than he fitted Ipswich's system.
He is like a more skillful Sarr, in my opinion. Philogene.
But I think it also just depends on what you want. Like, because I saw a tweet about it earlier about I think someone was saying it was a ridiculous tweet, but it was like saying like, oh, Sarr's more important to us than Eze or something like that. And I mean, it's to some element, I kind of see what they're saying, but I think the reason why Sarr is so good for us is because we play exactly how he wants to play. Like we want him to run. Like if it was the other way around, you were firing balls into him whilst his back was facing the opponent's goal, and he's got to turn and try and find some space. I think he'd struggle, and I think we wouldn't really rate him, but because we managed to draw in the opponent to that left-hand side so much, or our left-hand side so much, that leaves him so much space on that other side for him to run into. And then you got someone like Adam Wharton who can literally just go, one touch, bang, like through the defence, and you got him running onto the end of it. I think, that's what it is. Before I do my bit, I'll just go through some more comments just because I can see some more. So obviously we talked about Koleosho, who is a good player.
I mean, just to be a shameless real quick for Dan. If you guys wanna go and have a look, videos. No, yeah. There we go.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But
we spoke about him before.
Yes, we have. There's a good player, and I agree. He wouldn't be like number one. He's starting, but he'd very much be like number two. Can kind of play in either of those attacking roles. I totally agree. I think it'd be a good signing. Free Cyrus thinks Gibbs White going to Spurs would have been a bad shout. I don't think so. I think he would have gotten good game time, and I think had he gone there, I don't think Spurs would have gone for Ebbs. Just because I think they do need someone in that 10 role. And also they've got someone like Thomas Frank. I think I've said it so many times. I think Frank's a brilliant manager. Big up Lee. Thank you for tuning in. And he's saying that he doesn't think Gibbs White got held hostage by Marianakis. I'm not too sure what his family might have to say about that. But yeah, no, I think I think that is probably one thing you can say. They certainly do have a bit more ambition at the moment. And then I know I also want to see Sosa will not play left centre back. There's another thread on the Twitter about him, not a particularly long one because there wasn't much footage I could get of him. But he won't be playing left centre back. He'll very much be playing either as a left wing back or I saw the other comment, but saying if he's going to be, I think Colin said he might be, can he play left wing? He will play a bit more higher up. He's definitely more attacking than Mitchell. That's for certain. So he'll offer a bit of a different flavour. And now I think I'll do some more later. I can talk about my pick. Mm-hmm. So I have gone for someone that we have actually been linked with, and I am going to go for Mr. Jan Bisek of Inter Milan. And you're probably thinking, why would a player from a Champions League finalist club want to go to Crystal Palace? It's all about that money, baby.
Dollar
So,
bill, yo.
yeah, exactly. So, who is he? Let me just whack some pictures up there. So, if people don't know who he is, we were linked to him earlier on in the season. Now, I thought he actually rejected us, but from what I had another look, and it looked like he didn't. It looked like it was actually Inter Milan just said no to our bid. So people don't know who he is. Oh, that is really big. Okay, sorry, I wasn't expecting it to be like
Was.
that. Whoops. Why has it done that? Okay, what do I do? How do I get rid of it? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. So all right, forget it. Let's just go to the tactics board then. I've got a tactics board. So I don't know what I resized it and everything, and it still just flopped. Right. Anyways, so I'm going to take this back line out, and it's not there yet. It's there. So who are we? How would we look to how would we look to set up if Mark Guehi goes? Because I don't think we'll make the signing if Mark Guehi doesn't go. How would we look to sign up? Well, Bisek very much plays for Inter Milan on the right-hand side. That's not to say that he can't play on the left-hand side. It's just that for Inter Milan, he didn't do that. So we would probably look to change it up a little bit and potentially set up a bit more like this. Obviously, Chris Richards has played on that left-hand side before. Now, what can Bisek offer that we want? So I think we're actually maybe change it up a little bit when he's on the pitch, because he very much can play the kind of the Chris Richards role where he is a little bit withdrawn. He's very safe on the ball. So if he receives it here and the players are coming in to pressure him, I think he's more than capable of kind of being sensible with a pass. He won't take many risky passes, whether that's Inter Milan telling him to do that or not, I don't know. But he doesn't take many risky passes. But he is a safe pair of hands at the back, which I think is what you need.
Can I ask a question on that quickly?
Yeah, go on.
Can he play left centre back? Because I'm not going to lie, moving Richards again just seems a bit.
I mean, I'm not going to say he can't, because I think obviously Mark was a right-footed left centre back. Maxence Zakwa was actually a right centre back at Wolfsburg, so he probably could if that's what he wanted. And to be honest, maybe that would make more sense, because how he kind of works is, yes, he can do that, but at Inter Milan, he's actually very attacking. So generally speaking, and they actually set up very similar to how we set up. So if we got our players over here, let's say, and then you've got our midfielders over here, whatever. You know how Munoz is basically like another winger, and then Richards or whoever's on that side is kind of like the right back, really. That's how he plays at Inter Milan. So when we are pushed up over here, he will get involved. And in fact, he gets involved so much that sometimes even, because sometimes he'll end up even like over here, like at right wing. Maybe not in this particular phase, but certainly when the other team are in a low block, he's more than happy to get involved with their wing back, which is when the games I saw was Matteo Darmian, for a blast from the past for everyone. Matteo Darmian basically was kind of like an inside forward, really, a lot of the time. Obviously, was a right wing back when they were defending, but in attack, pretty much all the way down this channel here. So Bisek was pretty much anywhere along here, and sometimes, occasionally as well, would even be happy to move into the middle to try and form some more numbers in midfield. So I just think his style of play, I think, is very, very suitable to us, because obviously we had it when Nathaniel Klein was doing very well in the first half of the season, and then you had Elise sort of moving inside and whatever. You know, we had Klein bombing around, overlapping to generate an overload in these areas, and that was really beneficial to us. And I think the good thing with Bissek is that he can do that. He's also happy to move into the midfield. He's also happy to sit back as well. And like I said, he's a safe pair of hands. He's quite a passive defender, so maybe that would then mean that he's more like a like to like for Mark Guehi, and we would play him on the left. But obviously that remains to be seen. But I think the only thing I think we would miss with Mark Guehi really is that I think Mark Guehi is a lot better at, well, I'll say he's a lot better. Mark Guehi is sensational at running out with the ball and, you know, not losing the ball even under really tight situations. Bissek, I haven't really seen do too much of that, but then he doesn't really receive the ball under heavy pressure as much as Mark does.
Is that because he plays for a quote bigger team?
In terms of the amount, yeah, certainly. That's not to say like never, but certainly the amount of which that happens, yeah, I'd say so. But I mean, he's basically, in the way he plays for Milan, is basically he's a right centre back come right back. Really, that's what he is. He's also happy to move into midfield. So also seeing the amount of money that we are potentially going to get for Guehi and the amount of money that Inter Milan were apparently wanting. So apparently they wanted 40 million euros. So what's that in pounds? In pounds, that's about 34.6 million. You're kind of getting like a straight deal there. Do I think he's as good as Guehi? Probably not. But on the flip side of that, he also brings a lot of experience as well. Obviously got to a final with Inter Milan and so on and so forth. I'd be happy with him if we bought him and Mark Guehi was sold.
Mm-hmm. Caleb here says Josh Acheampong loan would be interesting. He played Conference League with Chelsea last year, but I'm and I know that he can do the running out thing because he does it at Chelsea a lot. But I know for a fact that he plays as the right centre back in the back three. He can't play the left.
Yeah, he does.
The only issue with that though is I know they have a lot of players, but with Cole being injured, I think they'll keep him.
I agree.
That would have been a good loan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, with Bissek, let's just say that Diamonde would be an extra £10 million. Do you think that would be an extra £10 million? Well, is Diamonde £10 million better than Bissek in your opinion?
I haven't really seen that much of
I would say
Diamonde.
yes. I would say yes. The fact that like from the age of 19 he's been represented Ivory Coast, he's an absolute beast.
Yeah, and I think the way Sporting are going about their business, and a lot of people are trusted accounts on Twitter who also say that he's very, very good. I'd probably say so. I'm inclined to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Bissek is a good option. Wouldn't be my number one, but I think he would be a very solid option and would be a smart option, let's say.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's all done transfer-wise. I just wanted to touch on one thing before we finished. I'm not going to go through the whole statement that Palace released today, but how good was the bit that they released on Twitter before you actually click the link?
No, it was good. Just before you read that, I'm expecting Raheem Sterling to join us. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm surprised Mikel and Antonio have got no links to us at the moment, but I'm just saying I'm expecting Raheem Sterling.
I don't think we'll go anywhere near Antonio because he's just come back from a really bad injury.
Yeah, sorry, say it.
But yeah, to be fair, I think it's the most polite way to give someone the middle finger possible. They basically said, sporting merit is rendered meaningless. Have I say any more? There's no need.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I want to put it all in the past now. I'm over it until we play Forest at home.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it. Guys, is there anything else that we want to touch on today?
No. I think that's all fine. I think we'll all agree that we hope some business is done by the end of the week.
Guys, once the stream ends, not on the live comment, but just the normal comment when you put in some other players that we've not covered in any of the transfer weeklies, and we will go and do our research on them. Any other players you think will be a good fit? Because I mean, we have been
We're struggling.
we legit have been struggling with that. My gosh, because there's no links. There are no links. Colin, you said you've just sent me a message. Give me a sec. Okay, so this Colin sent me this a tweet from Yanks Abroad. It says, in just over 2 years with John Textor, Leon almost bankrupts and gets relegated. Crystal Palace demoted from Europa League. FIFA investigation on non-payment of transfers to Botafogo. Sued by Iconic Sports. Its American ownership of cancer to the sport.
Nice.
Lol.
Have we covered Dujalo yet? I can't remember the guy from Juve.
I
I
can't
think
remember.
we had planned to, and then the rumors just went away, and we did.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, let's hope the outro plays.
Oh, actually, hold on. Don't press it. Yeah, don't press it. Update. So tomorrow's transfer week. Not transfer week. Tactical, right?
Yes.
Right. On Thursday, if I'm able to find a possible thing to watch it, I will do a watch along of the second leg of Midgetland versus Frankenstein. If I can't find a suitable place to watch it, then we'll release the premiere of the Chelsea preview, which we recorded today with Matisse from the Big Six of DR Sports and stuff. So we'll release that. If there's no watch along, then the Chelsea preview will be on Thursday. If there is a watch along, the Chelsea preview will come out on Friday. That is all. I promise you. I'm going to shut up.
Eagles.
Yeah.